Man, if you join me live here this morning, holy crappy-oly. It is 35 degrees out with a nice little breeze, aka wind chill, aka winter. Thought we were through this season. I thought we were done here. Apparently not. Woo! Burr. But it must go on. Thursday was my last video on beliefs, and Friday I tried creating a video. I was on the road in Minneapolis, or in Minnesota rather, and the reception kept going in and out, so I had to scrap that video. And so I'm doing the makeup video now for that, following belief systems, how to change. Can't see my breath. I can feel it though. Last night was a little bit rough. I don't want to talk on here about it. I'd like to talk tonight about it because I want to get some of your input and share something with you and see if it's something that you've ever gone through or dealt with. But I didn't get much sleep. And actually woke up with something very, very interesting. After 10 minutes of falling asleep, woke up with something very interesting. So I'd like to share that tonight at 5:30. I love showing this scenery. Man, this is... Good morning, Brittany. Thanks for joining live. It's so beautiful out here. Everywhere I travel for my job with nursing, I always think, how beautiful the place is, and I don't know how I could ever move or go anywhere else. It's so beautiful up here. But yeah, I didn't get much sleep last night, so excuse me if I stumble a little bit. But tonight on my live, planned for 5:30. And I want to talk a little bit more about why I didn't sleep and kind of what happened. It's very fascinating. I want to get your take on it. But winter is back, but not the winter season anyways. I'm not going back. I'm not going back to the depression and the heaviness and all of that. I'm moving forward. Today's video is about change, how to change, and I am continuing on the growth to change and to get out of that place. You're just chilling at work? Thanks for joining. Good morning, Brian. Change. So fascinating, because one thing about life is that there's one constant thing in life. When people say death and taxes, yeah, absolutely. But change. One thing that will always stay the same is you will experience change. Everything from the cells to your body, to your hair color, to your hair thickness. Bald guy here. So everything will change. Expect that. But what happens if you actually want to change something? What if you have something in your life that you now have decided that you want to change? It's important to think about your belief systems on the change, because it might be that, and this is a scientific word I'm going to use, neuroassociations. And so it's a fancy word for what we basically put pleasure or attach pleasure to, or we attach pain to. So if there's something in your life that is starting to bring you pain, you might start considering that you want to change that behavior or that thing in your life. And so take, for instance, smoking. You may have always had pleasure with that because it relaxes you. The nicotine makes you feel calm and God dang! Whoo! That is a winter chill in the air. But the thing is, I can't stop. I got to keep pushing forward because I'm trying to make change in my own life. And I'm going to keep pushing through the pain, because the pleasure of getting out, walking, moving, working out again, eating healthy, it's all worth it in the long run. So to face a little bit of, uncomfortability, that's okay. It's worth it. So that's my neuroassociation. And so, good morning, Cindy. So I'm going to associate pain with the season I was in last winter, and I don't want to be there anymore. So it's time for change. And so even though there's a little bit of pain here with changing, it brings pleasure ultimately. It just takes a little while. Cindy, you joined me with that live that I had to delete because it was in and out of service. It was really crappy. I was on my way through Minnesota, and it kept going in and out of service. So some of this you'll remember hearing from me. But take, for instance, you want to change something like smoking. You associate pleasure with that, and it calms you down, makes you feel good. It's a ritual that you've created. But there might come a time where the pain starts to be more than the pleasure. It might be pain in the pocketbook. Those some bitches are expensive. It might be pain from family or friends that are discouraging you from smoking. Hey, it's bad for you. And you just get sick and tired of hearing it. Leave me alone. Or it might, God forbid, turn into a type of cancer or health problem. High blood pressure. Nicotine can cause high blood pressure and vasoconstriction, just that your vessels constrict. So you might start to feel pain and decide that it's time to make a change. And so when you're trying to make a change, you have to remember that it's a belief system. So you first have to address the belief system. You have to understand that, first of all, that something must change. So I can't do this anymore. I have to change this. Then the belief system that you must change it. And then the follow through and understanding that you have the ability and power to change it. And so you start taking action and moving forward. And willpower can get you through a lot of things, but it won't always work, just sheer willpower. There has to be a determination. There has to be an interest. There has to be a willingness to push through when it gets hard. You wake up in the morning and you have a cigarette, or you take a break at work to have a cigarette, and I'm just using smoking as an example because that, I've had experience with that, and for a short period of time, but also other people I know have had experience with that, and so they know how difficult that can be to change, because it is so addicting. And the reason it's so addicting is not just that nicotine is addicting, because it can be for sure, but it's more about the ritual that you create. So there's got to be a willingness, there's got to be an interest, it's got to be not just willpower on its own, because we all know that a time is going to come where you're going to feel the urge and want to do that. So it has to be more than just willpower to get through that. So changing the behavior and the mindset, and then taking action on that, and realizing that it's a shift in your paradigm, or it's a shift in the way that you think about it, is what's going to help you get through that. Because belief systems definitely can hold us back from accomplishing what we want. And sometimes it runs in the background, and we don't even realize that that is running in the background. So first, being aware of that. When we're talking about making changes to the computer system, also known as the brain or the nervous system or neuroassociations, there's programming, right? There's getting all the information. There's plugging it in. There's surrounding yourself with people that are like-minded or that are encouraging to you. There's staying away from other people that do that because you don't want that to, to encourage you to keep with that behavior. But then after that programming comes conditioning. So when you look at basketball stars, or you look at athletes in general, conditioning is an not only everyday event, but sometimes hourly event, where free throws constantly, one after another, calisthenics, gymnasts doing their routines over and over and over. The reason they're so successful is because of conditioning. And you have to look at your life the same way. If there's something you want to change and you're half-hearted about it, or you're passive about it, it's not going to change. There has to be not only the willpower and the drive, but it has to be something that you constantly think about and are constantly working on and moving forward towards that. And so exercise and practicing that, and always in the forefront of your mind, you have to put it up there. Otherwise, you're not going to be able to get over that. Good morning. So that's how you look at change and changing a behavior or a habit or a routine. Oh, pardon me for a second. I'm breathing in ice cold air with asthma, but I'm doing okay. But holy crap, it's cold. Looking at a few notes I created here to see if I've covered everything that I wanted to talk about. One thing I wanted to say too is change happens scientifically in an instant. The moment you make a decision is the moment that your mind changes to that thing. But for some reason, we've learned as humans that we change once certain criteria is met. You know, if we're still talking about smoking, you want to change, it's getting painful for whatever reason, you want to stop, you want to quit, but we put criteria on it that, well, I'll quit once, once my money runs out. Or I don't know if that would even be a thing, but we'll quit when, they take our cigarettes off the shelf, or, whatever the reasoning. We tend to make up, it's almost like a bargaining. I'll quit when this, or I'll quit when that. And sometimes we overanalyze too. Why did this happen? And this is, I don't know how to tie this in with the smoking, but for things like loss or things that, difficult situations in our life, we overanalyze why things happen to us and what they mean. And that can hold us back from change too, because we're not looking at moving forward. We're still stuck in the past with trying to figure out what things mean and why they mean what they do. So, I think I've covered everything here that I wanted to for this walk out at Pikes Peak this morning. This is so uncomfortable to be out here when it's this cold, and I'm still building the routine. It's only been a little over a week since I've been coming out here and doing this, but the thing is I'm hopeful. I'm hopeful that if I keep pushing myself and I keep eating healthy, working out again, I'm already getting the benefits of feeling better mentally, physically. I look in the mirror and I'm like, I'm starting to look better. So there's all these positive things that are happening from making this decision, even though it's hard work and it's a little painful. It's so much better than being in a constant pain from not doing this stuff. And it takes its toll on you mentally, physically, all of that sort of thing. So I just want to encourage you today to visit your belief systems. Remember, a belief is just a certainty. It's an act of being certain that something is true for you or in your life. Challenge some belief. If just pick one belief today, identify it, and then question it. When you question something long enough, it will take it out of the belief slot in your life, and it will be on this almost like queue, in the queue. And you'll consider if that's really an old belief system, if it's a beneficial belief system, and that will kind of get you jump started to then start looking at change. If what you're doing is good and healthy and works, keep at it. But look at it, because if it's not, you can change it. And I'm telling you, I'm not just speaking from experience, and I'm not just speaking from something that might feel good to talk about. I'm speaking scientifically that when you look at something and want to change it, the moment you make the decision, it's changed. But it's the follow through. It's the hard part. It's kind of like with money. Everybody can have a dream, can have an idea, but until you put that dream to action, it's not gonna be worth anything. It's just a pipe dream. So I want to tell you today that you can do this. I believe in you. Others believe in you. If you don't have a support system, get out there and get a support system. Everybody should have at least one or two people in their life that care about them enough to support them. But if there is no one, I will. Send me a message, write in the comments below if this helped you, what you're struggling with, what I could maybe focus on that could help you for content in the future. But you guys got this. Tonight at 5:30, join me live. If you didn't watch last night's, it's long. It's almost 2 hours long, but it was with Leah. And it was great insight into Leah and what she does, energy, spiritual work. Very fascinating stuff. Whether you agree with it or believe it or not, it's fascinating. So take a look at it. We had a great time creating some fun content. Very entertaining. But tonight, plan is the same thing. Open discussion. We can have fun, entertain each other, have a glass of wine together. But let's just talk, shoot the shit, and hang out. So I'll see you tonight at 5:30 if you want to join me on my Facebook Live. Also, I've created a YouTube channel. Go over to YouTube, Alcatraz 205. That's my username on YouTube, and I'm posting all the videos here on Facebook Live over on YouTube. I'm hoping to make the switch over to YouTube, but it's all a social experiment. I'm trying to figure out what works best for me and what works best for the folks that I have an audience with. But I'm hoping to grow this and reach as many people as I can. You guys got this. I love you. Keep at it. I believe in you. Make it a great day.